What is going on? What is going on? It is me, your main man, Mikey D, aka Stony Mike, and I am here to give you a nice, wonderful 710 reaction. We are going to be reacting to SJW's own compilation number 21. This is a oldie but a goldie. I I haven't seen this particular one, but all of SJW owned compilations are old. They are very old. More likely the channel got demonetized or some shit. Something more than likely fucked up and happened, and they're just not capable of producing any more videos. So I highly implore you, go over there, give them some likes, give them some stuff. The OP video is in the description. And I more than likely will skip through stuff because, let's be real, I don't have the patience as I once upon a time had. Even with cannabis, I don't have the patience to deal with some of the some of these people. So that being said, looks like a Kill Tony moment right here. I absolutely love watching Kill Tony. I wouldn't mind being up there. I really wouldn't. I'm not that funny of a guy in my opinion. Like I am a insult comic most of the time. Like that's where most of my comedy comes from. And the problem is as I've gotten older, I've gotten a heart. So even with people who are very much deserving of my wrath, I tend to bite my tongue. And it's only because stuff that my own mother taught me as a child, it kind of like resurfaces now that I'm older. And you kind of have to lead by example for real. So, in some situations, some scenarios, if I ain't got nothing fucking nice to say, I just don't fucking say nothing at all. And there's been times where I just get quiet and I won't be able to say nothing because I don't have nothing at all nice. The shit that I will say will make someone 87 or 86 themselves right the fuck on out of this damn 87. 86 themselves completely right the fuck out of this goddamn world. I mean, most of what I got to say is very insultive. And it's only to people, honestly, like at the end of the day, it's only to people who are trying to cause a problem for me. Who are trying to create problems for not just me, but for everybody else. All because they want some extra privilege. That are the people I have no chill with and I come unglued on. But here lately, here recently, in the past few years, kind of chilled out a little bit. But I don't know how long that chill will stay. I really don't. So, to be courteous and nice, I just skip. I just skip along, you know? And I also don't believe in making fun of anyone who is handicapped, disabled in some form of fashion. And I'm not talking about self-inflicted bullshit either. If you do that shit, you're on your own. You got it coming. Let us do it. Hold up, before we get into that though, you know the drill. I know the drill. That still ain't melted enough. Son of a bitch. I was hoping it would melt. I got my ice this time, but for some reason it wouldn't go down into the chamber like I got it to go in there yesterday. I managed to get 5 pieces of ice in there yesterday. Today, I cannot get but 4 pieces of ice in that motherfucker. It's got me going absolutely insane over it. I can't put it in there the exact same fucking way. The exact same fucking way. But for some reason, and these all look the same, my ice maker does not make them any different. They come out in a specific shape. They can't be any different. But for some fucking reason, they come out different. And I got them in there in the same exact way that I had them yesterday, and I can only put 4 in there. It's crazy. The heat from my hand, the heat from my hand will heat it up enough to get my lips. So I have actual lips. So, and I say that because there's some people who just have those flat, straight lips. But what I'm saying is, I have actual lips. So when I go to suck the air out of there or the smoke out of there, my lips go down inside of it. Even now, my lips are touching this fucking ice. So it's problematic, man. That old school Mexican red hair. I wonder if that's the case. I'm very inquisitive of this strain because I don't know everything about it. But let's see if that's a good volume. Hey, why does this tend to happen? Yeah, let's keep happening. I wonder what. Yeah. Yeah, because it fucking got hid behind the little bar over here that's supposed to be like a platform for another monitor and shit, and it got hidden by that, so I couldn't see it. I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, man, where the fuck could it have been? Because I don't really take my lighter anywhere else. It's here in this spot, so when it goes missing, it's like weird, and that's like the second time I've done that. Alrighty, let us get into this video.
Good, Sarah.
Never heard either one of their policies. Just what color is their blouse?
Are you saying that the wife of the President of the United States doesn't matter?
I'm saying that Michelle Obama, the current wife, should run for president.
No, absolutely.
Why? Because she danced on Ellen? Being the wife of the president versus actually running the country is so fucking different. Give me
She
a fucking break.
also danced
so
in
if you marry
Ohio.
some dude and you're out there
Took dance in Ohio. What the fuck kind of weird who is this? What kind of weird response is that? Y'all also danced in Ohio. What does that even mean? I get where she's trying to go with it. Like she's trying to, but that was odd.
crushing it in arenas, you're like, your husband should then go do fucking stand-up because he hung
Well,
around your
that's different.
comedy notebook. It's
No.
not different.
Honest.
It's
no,
not
it's
different.
not. It's not.
This
That's
whole
not.
fucking thing with these first ladies fucking
Whoa.
picking a goddamn cause and all of a sudden like,
here it
ooh,
comes.
they're presidential unconventional is fucking ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous at all.
Why?
It's
Why?
not ridiculous
Why?
because women have an opinion and we talk in your ear all the time. Are you telling me that when you designed your house, it was all your decision
It has nothing-
and your
That's
wife
right,
didn't have
Sarah,
anything
no,
to do with it?
It has nothing to do
Are
with
you
sex.
telling me that you can go on tour wherever the fuck you want and your wife is like, yeah, sure, go
I'll
ahead.
wait this out.
All right, so the stupid argument that she's trying to make is that it's a woman who's constantly pushing these things. No, it's called a team. And the moment you try to take one person out of that team and you fucking sit there and you try to be like, I did this, I did that, you are just making a fucking fool of yourself because you can't do anything by yourself. If you have been working as a team, the moment you split from that team, you will find it very difficult for you to do any goddamn thing. Anything. Now, would I think that Michelle Obama would make a good president? Fuck no. Like, Joe bumped his fucking noggin on that one. He smoked the best shit you could ever fucking smoke when it comes to that. Because just her being what she's done does not qualify her to be there. But to be honest with you, half of the presidents we've had in the past 20 fucking elections, 20 of them. I can think of 20 presidents who were truly not really qualified, but they were there. And then there are some that bold-faced lied to everybody that ever fucking got told something about it. They bold-faced fucking lied. Why put so much faith in people in something that, like, honestly, with presidents, they are honestly a figurehead. You should only treat them as such. Giving them too much power, such as making executive orders and shit whenever they want to, that's the dumbest idea ever. We have Congress to keep tyranny. Yes, it's slow and it's fucking miserable, but it allows us to not be completely taken over by a tyrannical rule. It allows people... Okay. Take, for instance, say Trump decided to go again in 2024, and we didn't have Congress. Say we didn't have Congress, but he decided to go 2024. All the people who voted for him will immediately vote for him again, even plus more, because, they would want him to be in because of what he did to the first run. But what if he did that first run so magnificently and so American-like? What if he did that just so that way he could get back in and be tyrannical? See, that's the reason why we have Congress. So that way someone cannot just jump in there, get in there by popular demand, by mob rule, and actually just start fucking laying down the law. Pulling a fucking Adolf Hitler and locking people up in internment camps. That kind of thing has actually happened in this country. Have Congress. You allow it to slowly pander through both mindsets. Nothing tyrannical can or will be passed. But if you allow presidents to have too much power and continuously get executive order after executive order done, you will see a slippery slope of your freedom going straight the fuck down. It's just the way that works. It's an unfortunate thing that happens. It's a very unfortunate thing. That's why statism is not a good end game. It's just not a good end game.
What it has to do with is actually doing the job.
What do you mean doing the job? You
My
say
mother was a nurse. I hung out with her
she's
forever.
a lawyer just like him.
Time out. My mother was a nurse. I hung out with her for my whole fucking life.
Right.
Okay? If someone came into the ICU unit, I didn't know what the fuck to do.
Well, that's because you're
Just
not
because I
trained.
hung around with her with scrubs.
That's completely different. You're not trained as a nurse. Barack Obama is a lawyer, and so is Michelle.
That's not a Paul.
So how does that make... Yeah, he's just about to make the point. So how does that make them a good politician? just because they were lawyers. That doesn't make them a good politician. Actually, what would make someone a good politician, not my opinion, because if you ask my opinion, a good politician is one on his deathbed. But, but if we're talking about as a societal situation, a good politician is someone who knows how to handle economics, knows how to handle social economics, knows how to understand the people they're representing. I can't name a singular Democrat now, since Tulsi Gabbard left, that knows how to do that. I know very few Republicans that know how to do that. Very, very few. It's almost close to how it is with the Democrats on their side. So, start by pushing all these ideologues that talk in your ear and try to get you to divide away from humanity. Start with ignoring them and actually paying attention to the people who are wanting to represent you. And base your conversation, base your opinions and the way you see that politician off of the merit of their actions. Instead of just having this weird party loyalty and this fucking jealousy that gets put into people. Just push all that to the side and be a little human a little bit for one fucking minute.
Politician.
But it doesn't matter. Like, he wasn't a politician when he got elected. That was the whole thing about him.
No.
He had been a
But
senator,
going
but he
from
had very
fucking,
little experience.
you're talking about going from never being a politician to the highest fucking office
Which is
ever.
exactly what Trump is doing. That's exactly what Donald Trump
voting.
just did.
I didn't vote for him, you fucking lunatic.
I didn't vote for him, you fucking lunatic. And Trump, was he not mayor? Is he not a mayor? I just sworn he was like a mayor of New York or some shit like that. Was he not like something? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Trump was fit to be a politician, but I think he was already in the game. If I'm not mistaken, he was already in the game. So, I don't know what kind of weird argument she's saying. But that's what fucking happens with these dumbasses. They get so stupid. I seen recently, and I'm gonna go find that video again. It's in my recent watch shit, so I'm gonna go find it.
Saying you did.
You see that? That is sexist shit right there.
I didn't say
Right
you did.
there.
Look at it.
I didn't say that
Right
you did.
there.
I didn't
Right
say that
fucking
you did.
there. That is the bullshit.
That is not what I said.
The double standard.
I did not say that you
bullshit.
voted for him.
Right
I
there.
If I was a white knight and I was trying to fuck Sarah Tiana, I'd be yelling at you right now, Bill Burr.
Listen,
guys,
this is the
was
point
in.
that I'm making. If you're married to someone not in the field that you're in, does not make you qualified to do their job. That's all I just said.
Yeah.
If you're married to a guy who builds houses.
Trying to say something as simple as that. Just as simple as that. Trying to say that to someone who has this rabid mindset, they're not going to hear what you're saying. They're only going to hear, this guy is my enemy. That's immediately what they go into, and that's the reason why she ain't this crazy like this. I fucking hate her voice. I don't know who she is, but god damn, she's fucking retarded sounding.
And you don't build houses, that doesn't mean that I want to live in something that you
Okay.
just fucking built. That's all I'm saying.
Bill,
I don't know. I think it's I feel like there's a
Looked like Joe had to leave.
a national misogynism and sexism that exists, and I'm very upset about it.
Hang on. Let me put Bill Burr's golf ball on his tee.
Yeah, please
As
do.
he,
No, I'm ready to fucking get it back
he's talking
in
to
my face with a
his
slight
what are you,
accent and
caddy
some
about which
aggressive
club he's
dynamics.
gonna use.
Listen to her fucking talk that bullshit. She is just spewing the exact same thing that you would have if you're sitting there if you're having, it's not even a debate with these people anymore. It's an argument. It's a pure fucking argument. There is no, and yeah, someone will be like, what's the difference between a debate and an argument? No, don't even fucking go there. Debates are civil, arguments are not. People like this, they instantly go into fucking trying to like spew this. It's a regurgitated rhetoric. It's constantly fucking spewed by the same person that looks like this person right here. They look exactly the same. Can't tell me they're not fake people. Like they may be living flesh, but they're fake. They're fake as fuck. These are people who are just constantly never thinking about anything original. There's nothing original going on here. They are extraordinarily fucking stupid.
Why
I've been
can't it
dealing
be
with it
the
all night.
52 felonies she got accused of that somehow disappeared? But if I had one of those, I'd be hanging out with Snowden in Russia.
Morgan.
I have to be honest with you. The Democrats did pick the wrong person because they've done so much shit.
Right.
They really are the Democrats' Bushes. They've done so much fucking shit. They had a lot of fucking enemies. They did.
I'm gonna come.
Bill Burr has got the fucking bet because he's like me, man. He has a very fine-tuned mixture on things and can be changed if there is a logical statement that fucking makes sense and allows my mind to be changed. He is the same way. I think that's being a normal human being, in my opinion, but it seems like normality is stretched a little bit thin nowadays.
In that, you're saying the Republicans picked the right person, which is one of the most.
That's not what I'm saying. You're putting those words in my mouth.
I am.
Well, then stop doing that.
I'm not your point. I'm just saying that here it comes.
She legitimately admitted, I am. She just flat out, I am. And he was like, well, then stop doing that. She's self-aware that she's doing the same rhetoric that every Antifa turd, every fucking little weird radical that you see at any kind of debate or any kind of protest, anything. You see these fucking types of people. They are the type. It's odd. It's so fucking odd.
Qualified person, and you go, okay, why didn't she make it? You go, there's clearly people in this country who are racist, who are misogynistic, who are homophobic, who are xenophobic.
How can you just blow off all of those? Like how many felonies do you have to be accused of?
Well, it's not like he's not accused of things as well.
I'm not saying he's a good guy.
Well, I'm just saying that you
But
can't blow
to
off
literally
either
just
of them.
say the reason why you're not voting for Clinton is because you're misogynistic
I don't think
is
the
actually
people, no.
sexist.
But I don't think the people who voted for Trump.
That's the problem with their mindset. They're not. They're so hell bent against, and that's why I don't want Trump running. I don't want him to run. I really don't. Dude was good, and he had a smart team and involved with him. But I don't want him to run because all he's going to do is create even more problems. These people right here are fucking apeshit stupid and will not absolutely refuse to fucking. They can't understand anything reasonable. You tell them something within reason, they will stretch it out and somehow try to be a victim about it. That's just how they've been doing for the past 6-7 years now. It's even been longer. It's fucking wild now. And I can't stand it. And I think the best thing, of course, I feel like at this point, it doesn't matter who runs. If they're running under a Republican ticket, these types are going to go rabid and scream xenophobia and all kinds of other shit as much as possible. Because the mentality that Democrats teach now, as opposed to, what they used to teach, which was burn crosses in people's yards. And no, I'm not going to stop saying that. I'm going to continue to speak about history because guess what? People seem to fucking forget that Democrats were the fucking Klan. So I'm going to continue to speak on that. I'm also going to continue to talk about how it seems like instead of being straight out fucking racist, they want to create a division via self segregation. It's like they try to teach it. And these types perpetuate that. They continue it. It's just their main fucking game. I'm pretty concrete in that belief, mainly because of what I have seen. I don't know any person that I've ever met, that is foolish enough to believe some of this stuff. And I guarantee you, I can go back to people I went to school with years and years ago. I ain't talked to some of these folks in years. I guarantee you, they will find this to be lunacy, sheer stupidity. And I got news for you. I got big news for you. 9 out of 10 of those people would have been a person of color. And I hate that terminology too, because look, that seems like they've tried to segregate them into like a weird like group that umbrellas a whole bunch of people. It's very strange. These terminologies, they seem like they're like inclusive and whatnot, or at least that's what they tell you, but they're not. They're fucking by definition pushing you away from what you are, which is a human. Like, it's not something good whatsoever. Their ideology ultimately leads to what people are always screaming on that side. Racism. Their ideology leads to that. And you can try to argue it doesn't, but it does.
It is. It's like you're saying, yeah, it's like...
I'm going to move on because I've already spent like 28 minutes fucking covering that. So, okay, go away.
From people about that. Would you change it, what you said, or you still feel the same way?
All right, faster.
Right.
Well, then, all right,
I
then.
still think it would have been too.
No,
Morgan.
Obama was squeaky fucking clean.
There was a lot of backlash from people about that. Would you change it, what you said, or you still feel the same way? What's your thought on Black Lives Matter?
What is it? What do you mean?
The idea was that there's this movement called Black Lives Matter, thinking that the rest of America didn't seem to understand that Black Lives Matter.
It just sounds weird. I didn't know that you put a name on it. It's not a name. It's not whatever. It's somebody got shot by police and for a reason. I am a young, black, rich. If that don't let you know that America understands Black matter these days, I don't know what it is. Don't come at me with that dumb man.
That's what anybody with any kind of intelligence said. And if you listen to his raps, it may sound stupid because you ain't paying attention, but the dude is a fucking lyrical genius. He says things that are like on a psychological level, like totally different than what it sounds. And he's smart. And I'm afraid that he may use that smarts to do some fucked up shit, like that's some, he himself can easily manipulate people. I mean, so far he's been doing all right, he ain't having people out here fucking killing nobody or whatnot. But what I'm saying is he's really good with his raps. He's a smart motherfucker. So when he goes and says what he just said, which I was always against that group to begin with. Not because of their touting of something that just seems completely divisive and completely intended to segregate people. They are no different than the what were they called? The Nation of Islam or some shit. They were a bunch of Marxist people who stemmed off of the Black Panthers group, who were radicals. They were radicals. But the only difference between BLM and those group, I'm trying to. I don't think they were called the Nation of Islam. I think they were called something else. I forget what the fuck they were called. And I think they had members of the Nation of Islam, and that's the reason I'm referring to it like that. I'm trying to remember their name. They always love to spew. Like, there's still a few of them around to this day that like you see them. They look like street preachers out in the middle of the street, just spewing hate. They have nothing but hate in their minds. As soon as they see a white person, they go to cussing white people out, saying all kinds of fucked up shit. They had the balls to come to this part of the country, which this part of the country. I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama. Okay, I'm originally from a place where racism you're taught in school was very prevalent during Jim Crow era. Well, I rarely would see it. I would see it. You know, racism still exists everywhere. You know, like people who just don't like people based off of the skin color, and it's not racism. It's called prejudice, by the way. We need to start calling it what it is. It's prejudice. When someone does not like someone based off of insignificant things like that, it's called prejudice. We need to stop preaching about racism. There is no such thing as racism. We're only one race. You cannot be any other thing. So there is no such thing as racism. But what there is such thing as is prejudice. And I would see prejudices every now and then. I would see them. But since I moved over here to Washington, I have seen far more. I have seen shit that people would talk about Jim Crow era shit. I've seen shit like that. I've seen it more from the people who vote Democrat than I have from the people who vote Republican. I know that sounds kind of biased and stuff because I seem like I'm, more conservative and more of that. And that's fine. You can think whatever you want to. But the truth is, I'm just basing it off of what I have been able to see. What I have been able to see is that history hasn't changed much. Time has not changed much. The only thing that's changed is the way they go about doing things. That's the only thing that has changed. Is Democrats have a different way of going about things. They still have the same mentality. They've even manipulated their voters to still have the same mentality. Pretend they don't. And some of them truly think they don't. Some of them are so goddamn delusional, they really truly think they will do some of the most extra racist ass shit or prejudice ass shit that you've ever fucking seen in your life. You'll never see that shit until you encounter some of those people. Until you point it out, and I'm telling you, they'll do some of the most extra ass shit they don't even need to do. Like these dumb bitches will be steadily screaming BLM, BLM, right? But they'll see a black guy coming to them on the street, and they'll fucking move out of the way because they're afraid of him for some stupid fucking reason, because they have something in their head. That's these types of people. That's who they are. That's what they are. I've seen it with my own fucking eyes, man. It's just I'm an apolitical person. I do not vote. Like I've said, I have my qualms against the Republican Party. You think they fucking like me smoking herb? Hell, most of the most countryist ass motherfuckers in this world smoke herb, but you know what? They don't vote either. They didn't give a fuck less. They're just, I care about America and Americans only. That's all they're about. Most of them country folks, and they don't vote because they don't see no reason for it. They've seen how things go. It's just mob rule. And then nowadays, because everything's going digital and everything, that mob rule can easily be manipulated. So what's the fucking point? Statism is stupid, and it creates these segregated issues. But I feel what he's saying though. I can totally understand that. Y'all are fucking retarded. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. I would have been like,
Bitch, are you dumb, dumb?
and ran the fuck over them. And the reason why you should always run through them, listen, if they get out on the fucking thing like that, keep fucking going. Do not stop. There is a very popular video that I've always reverted people to see, where they pull a fucking man out who was just doing the right thing, and he could have mowed right through them if he wanted to. He was a trucker. He could have mowed right through them, but he did the right thing by stopping and letting them do their little thing. But the thing is, as soon as they got around him and surrounded him, they got mob mentality. And guess what mob mentality did? It said, let's beat this white man up. And a whole bunch of people beat the shit out of him and killed him right there on the spot. Beat him to death and killed him. So no. You fucking plow right through them. If they want to play stupid games, let them play stupid games. I would be like, you can dodge a wrench, but can you dodge a car? I would be so fucking... Ooh. And I don't take this kind of shit lightly though. It's not something to do.
On the freeway! Get off the fucking highway! Get the fuck off the highway! Get the fuck off!
Oh, so now you're fucking being smart. Get the fuck off the highway. Ah. Yeah. Ultimately, these fucking dodo brains.
Discriminated against African Americans for housing in the 60s. If you say been saying the same thing,
That should show you how far money can go.
he did a settlement. He did a settlement with the government because he had. Yeah, he did.
That's a flat out lie.
That's not a lie. There was a settlement with the government with his housing people.
When you loan people money, you look at people's credit score. If somebody's credit score is too low, nobody's going to loan you money. It just so happened that when that happened, that was in New York, right? Yep. And the majority of the people asking for money happen to be African American. So however you want to look at it, that's who got denied. A lot of people, white people too. But when you look at it from that point of view, you're saying, oh, well, he's a racist because he's not loaning black people money. But that's not the case, man. That's how business works.
No, that was housing, providing renters. Yes. Like, getting people into houses. And he settled with the government because the government brought up... The government... Well, he didn't admit blame, but the government brought charges against him, and he settled with them. And that definitely shows something was going on.
That means you don't want to go to jail.
That just means you don't want to go to jail, and you're being like you.
Well, I mean, usually you don't want to go to jail if you're guilty. That's the way that works.
He's not guilty. He's being accused. He's being accused of something, right? He's being accused of something, but from the point of view of a business, that's not what it is, man. That's just reality. That's called counting. It's like saying all the immigrants are Mexicans. Well, no, that's not racism. That's called counting.
You're saying what?
I'm saying I'm an immigrant, right? And most people say, oh, it's just all these immigrants that are coming in, all right? Right? Or like, look, I'm an immigrant, right? Okay. So all these people coming into this country, I'm Colombian, all right? Okay. All these Mexicans, and you were to say a bunch of these Mexicans are rapists or poor people or whatever, that's not racist. That's called counting. That's called being objective and seeing reality.
When you say that, I mean, the point is that the guy's running for president of the United States, leader of the free world. And his opening salvo, his opening statement is something that can be, if not overtly racist, is something that can easily be interpreted as racist.
Yet again, there's no such thing as racism. I get so sick and tired of hearing it. It's prejudice. and I've heard it so much that and me myself, I can't help but fucking end up saying it, and because it's something that they've effectively stripped away. They've effectively stripped away the terms and definitions for certain words. And they put in these faux fucking definitions and meanings for some reason. There's a malicious reasoning behind it, and I truly believe it is to segregate. I truly think that a new form of Jim Crow era style um, practices are in effect in the Democrat side, and they use this like emotional like response kind of thing as a means to deflect from it. But it's not working. And the only people it works on are their voters. Their voters are gonna fucking continue for the rest of their lives. That's gonna be a thing. And there's nothing that you can do about that. The only thing you can do is just point out facts, and if they have a logical thinking brain in their head, they will listen and agree with what you got to say. That you're probably wasting your fucking time because the true overlords of the Democrat Party have effectively used media, fucking educators, everything you can think of to create this style of thinking in our social structure. And it's really just it's really dumb. And it's we have to start really looking to what these things are. And at the end of the day, there is no such thing as racism. It's prejudice. There are people who have prejudices, and we do have to acknowledge it. But we also have to acknowledge that it's okay for them to have that prejudice. It's just not okay for them to fucking be an asshole and do anything that goes against that other person's rights. I can have prejudice. I have prejudices against furries. I don't fucking like those fuckers. I just don't like them. I have prejudices against pedophiles. But I don't act on those prejudices. I don't fucking go out here and fucking promote the death of these people, even though I do really think that pedophiles should be killed. I don't promote it. And I don't say, hey, everybody go out there and kill your local pedophile. I'm not doing that in any way. So people need to acknowledge what actions are and again, what the intent of those actions are before they fucking start putting their own narrative to it, because once you do that, you're creating the opposition. There may not ever be an opposition, but you're creating it once you start making your own narrative, regardless. You're creating an opposition once you start doing that.
This is talking. When you talked about the fact that people coming across the border, and you made all sorts of derogatory statements about the people coming across. You said that, well, I'll let you say it.
No, he said the grand majority of people that come over this country, I assume they're good people.
No,
I assume they.
He said, and some of them were good people. That's what he said. Some of them. That's a big difference from most of them. Like most of them are good people, some of them are bad people. To say there's a whole bunch of criminals.
Dude, you're really reaching here on that. I'm not a Trump fan by no means. I never will. There's a lot of things I have against the dude, but this dude's reaching. He's reaching hard. Like, he's reaching so far that he can grab a dude's dick from fucking India right now, and he's in America. So, like, he's that fucking. He's reaching that fucking hard. Like, that is a very far reach to say that when someone says that some is like trying to like insinuate everyone. It's just like yet again, this is tactics that they've been taught. Like unless he's actually some kind of fucking straight up high level Democrat that we don't know about, this dude is just manipulated to think that way. But he is doing the exact thing that I was just talking about. Using a swap up of words to try to change the definition of things and try to like dictate through emotional reaction and emotional response what something is. And that's what he's trying to get on here anyway. And he's probably just a street protester or whatever, so that's probably why. I mean, he just seems very.
Criminals coming across the border, and some of them are good people. That's not something you say to unite a country.
What else did he say? Your papers correct? So he said that most people coming across the country, right, illegally, are rapists. They're bringing in drugs. They're bringing in coke. That's what he said. He said that most people coming.
Because let's be real, the only people who are coming over here are really poor people. That's the majority. Really poor people and criminals. Because criminals know how to hide in amongst them. It's just a common ploy. Anytime you see a mass group of people, okay? And I'm going to explain this to you because I heard this from a guy who used to smuggle people over in New York City, and he's now a reformed guy for like some kind of U.S. agency or whatever. But what he and everybody and their fucking brother does when they are trying to smuggle specific criminals into this country, they come in mass groups of poor people, of people who are just trying to get in here, just trying to enjoy that American pie just like everybody else. And unfortunately, when tactics like that are being used, it's hard. It's hard to just stop everything because we want to give opportunities to people who are wanting to come here and make America good. Make America great, as fucker likes to say. But kind of can't do that when you got criminals who are using them as ploys. So we have to start strengthening our border in a certain way. But I think we're gonna have to go about it in way different ways. And a fucking wall ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. Please, like, let's not build monuments. This is like we got enough monuments as it is. We don't need to build walls. That's pointless endeavor. Even Trump's admitted that. It's very pointless. I still hear some of the I call them MAGA-tards. I still hear the MAGA-tards that are sucking every fucking word that Trump says right out of the air. I still see those people screaming about the wall, even after Trump has already said it was kind of a pointless endeavor to do that, considering because even in the time Trump thought it was a good idea when he said it because it riled up the crowd and everything, but he was more than likely told by somebody amongst his cabinet who let's be real, he had a lot of smart people in his cabinet. They were more than likely telling him, "Hey, just chill out on that," because they could come in over it by plane. They can come in under it by tunnels. There's numerous things that wall is not gonna do. It's not really gonna do anything but take away one avenue of a million others. So they just more than likely let it go from there. But yeah, ultimately, this is one of those cases where honestly, dude should just pack it up. These folks should just pack it up. Enjoy life. Quit fucking being such a blowhard for somebody who really not ever bat a fucking eye at you until they're right there in front of you. Every politician ain't gonna give a fuck about you until they're right there in front of you. And that's really genuinely any person who isn't attached to you. Okay? I'm just telling you a human response. If the person is not attached to you, they don't care about you until they're right in front of you. That's just the way humans are. We're very cold in that manner. We have lost the love for ourselves. At least some of us. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is what continues. Yes, I'm good on this. If anybody wants to check it out, they can check it out on the MP video. Till later, I'm gonna be coming back with some more shit. I'm more than likely gonna probably still do some Fallout. Working on some stuff in uh, the Unreal Engine. I've been using that to work on some stuff. Fortnite. I'm not a big Fortnite fan, but I do like the ability to create my own like world and my own game if I want. I do like that ability. So, and now that they have that whole Unreal Engine thing, I have been doing that. I've been messing around with it every night, summing up on done with what I have going. So I'm gonna probably be showing that. Probably not today, but really soon. It's something I'm somewhat proud of. I'm kind of modest when it comes to things that I create because I feel like I could always be better. I don't think modest was the right word. I guess there's a sense of modesty to it, but regardless, I usually feel like my shit could just always be better. So I probably will release a, a viewing of it, not actually put it out onto the Fortnite server, but show it because you can play them and you can add someone to the creator list and they can play it as well. They can also fuck it up too, so don't like let them. Don't let somebody who is immature mess around on your game. Is what I'm saying. Since they released Unreal Studio for that Fortnite shit, I've been messing around on there. Specifically with Tilted Towers because I was a tester for Fortnite and that was one of the main places that I loved and that's one of the default maps that comes with the Unreal Engine for Fortnite. And you know what? I've just noticed that certain things that I say, this fucking thing does not like to pick up. And it's really annoying because this mic picks up everything, but when I say it picks up everything, I mean it literally picks up everything. I said yesterday it picks up the fucking sound of a gnat farting, but I'm telling you, it's probably like at like well beyond that. Like it shit that's nameless. Like it can hear a tardigrade fart. Like it's fucking really super good. Too good actually. Like the noise canceling part to it. Like if I put it on for it, which means like background sounds, not like anything that's remotely around. If I put it on for that one, it just fucks up so bad, like horribly. But I've had this mic for a couple of years now, so I think it's probably like time I get a new mic. I really get attached to stuff that I use daily, like equipment and stuff. And I use this daily. And good news. We're starting to fucking kick the fuck off in such a wonderful way. I'm not gonna be a spoiler. Definitely, definitely becoming one of my favorite fucking shows. I'm a firm believer that Dave Filoni and John Favreau are the future of Star Wars. There is no doubt about it. Like it's like almost like George Lucas somehow split in two and became a left part of his brain and a right part of his brain. And those two for Disney and Lucasfilm uh, have have been tremendous. I, I'm not even going to mention her name because she should be who she should be known as she who shall not be named. Uh, you can call her the Wicked K. Well, that's what we'll call her. Either way, she pretty much single handedly destroyed Disney with and Lucasfilm. Like, and then when I say she destroyed Disney, I mean like that part of Disney, that whole Lucasfilm and all the titles that went along with it, absolutely destroyed it. She played to an agenda that she's a part of. She more than likely had some type of directive behind it, but she was a part of that agenda. And she fucking and it shows fiscally. It shows the damage is there. It's fiscally there. You go and look at their earnings. You go and look at their fucking shit, the rating bill. No matter what side you are on, left or right, you look at that, you can see it. It's fiscally there. They have been damaged, destroyed by that fucking succubus. That is a goddamn succubus. I really love Star Wars, man. I like Star Wars. I even tried to love the sequel trilogy. And there's moments that I loved from the sequel trilogy that and see there's and if I get started on the sequel trilogy, I'll go for fucking hours about what I want to pick apart. But this is the main thing that I have that I'm pissed off about with all of Star Wars trilogy. Okay? Or the sequel trilogy. All of it. um, they kept wanting to appeal to one side. And when they realized they were losing the other side, see, the way The Force Awakens went, it was really going pretty good because it was leading up like Rey and Finn are Jedi, are going to be trained as Jedi. And according to a lot of things that have came out, they actually were. Um, According to one thing, Rey was supposed to be trained by Luke, and Finn was going to be trained by Leia, because Leia was trained by Luke. Well, there's a whole bunch of shit, and the death of it just it sucks. I'm like that's one of those things that kind of grips me because that was my childhood. I didn't have um much fandom shit that I was really too heavily involved in other than Star Wars. Like I even went to this it was like a 3-day little Star Wars camp thing. It was where you decided whether you were going to be a Sith or a Jedi, and I was the first person whoever was able to convince them that you could be both. I was the first person to ever allow it to be part of the fucking storyline that you could be both. And the reason why is because I used the same principality of Revan. So anyway, outside of that, back to the main topic. My main thing that I hate about that is the fact that they split that whole entire storyline completely off. They should have ran with that. That would have been universally loved. Nobody reason to fucking hate that in any way. Kylo Ren could have been a thing. They could have continued to keep it as who he was and everything. And they also could have done it the real way, where the real Knights of Ren and the real Kylo Ren was there, and you know, say Luke's son, all of them could have been involved. There's so many amazing things that they could have pulled from Legends and made their own thing, and it would have been universally loved. Universally. But they decided to do dumb shit, and the main calls that were being called were being done by who? Who again? That bitch who shall not be fucking named. Anyway, years. Damn.
Well, we're boned.
Ooh, that was intense. That one got me. Holy fuck. Woo. It wasn't as big as the big ones that I normally do, but god damn. That don't sound right. Not like that. I meant it hit me already. Anyway, I'm your main man, Mikey D. I am out of here. Peace.